Good evening, I'm Jonathan McHugh reporting live for Grammy Pro and the Guild of Music Supervisors. We're here at the 5th Annual Guild of Music Supervisor Awards at the beautiful Max Sennett Studios in Silver Lake, California, with the nominee for one of my favorite films of the year, Whiplash. Andy, how the hell are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
So last year I'm at Sundance, where I go every year. I gravitate there every year. And the people I'm staying with, not really in the business. And the wife says to me, I just saw possibly the best film I've ever seen at Sundance. I said, whoa, you've lived in Park City for 20 years. She said, yeah, you got to see this movie, Whiplash. So somehow I was able to get a ticket to this movie, and I was blown away. And so I've been just preaching for the last year it's been now about this movie. And I'm amazed, you know, when the film ended, there's my friend Andy Ross's name. I had never heard of the film, didn't know anything about it. And tell me, how did you get involved with the film?
Well, I was working with a company, Cutting Edge, and they were involved in the film. So I met up with the producers and the director, Damien, and we started working together, and we sat down at the first meeting and planned out how we would do this film. I remember reading the script and thinking, oh, this is great. I didn't think it was going to blow
Well,
up
it's hard.
like
I mean, you see that on paper, and then you see J.K. Simmons bring it to life.
Exactly.
And Miles Teller.
And you think it's a film about jazz. Who's going to watch a film about jazz?
Exactly.
I mean, I love jazz, but, you know, you're like, yeah, this will be a nice little niche one. And
Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, you just couldn't predict that it would have this kind of power, right?
No, and I it's the director, Damien Chazelle. I mean, phenomenal. He's responsible for 95%, probably more, of the brilliance of this movie.
Right.
Because everybody facilitated him. I mean, okay, the actors were phenomenal and they brought a whole lot to the party, but everybody else realized this guy has the vision for the whole thing.
Right. And what's great about the story is that the year before, because at the Q&A of the film at Sundance, he talked about it. The year before, he made a short, and he got it into Sundance. He got a scene shot, and he got the short into Sundance, and that got him the money. I mean, it's really an interesting way to get a movie made. You know, one year you come with a short, the next year you come with a film, the next year they're talking about Academy Awards.
I don't think it's been done before, having a short, and it probably never will again.
But I think it happens more often in the future, because I think that is such an interesting way to do it. It's a hard way, but it's in a way it proves your concept.
Yep.
If people like your short, well, why won't they like your feature? So Miles Teller is a drummer. Talk about, was Miles Teller a drummer, or did he just learn, or was it all subbed?
Well, Damien, the director, had a music school background, okay? And Miles was a drummer and drummed quite a lot. He loved drumming, and he drummed quite a lot. So he wanted to do a lot of the drumming, so Damien is very good friends with him anyway, so they were practicing a lot. You know, not sort of having a set 2 weeks necessarily to practice, but they were constantly going through stuff. And Damien always kind of knew exactly what was going to happen. It was almost in the script. Every beat was in the script.
Right.
You know, so Miles, you know, was practicing as much as he could for his miming, and then we said, why don't we try and get him to play a lot of the drums? Because, you know, obviously when we did the big band stuff, that's slightly different, but all the other stuff he could do, you know, so it was a lot of editing afterwards and stuff. But I mean, he did a lot of the stuff, and we did overdubs and everything. There's no way all of his stuff got in there, but Damien wanted him to kind of do it anyway.
So he was really working up a sweat in there.
Yeah. He was phenomenal. I mean, it was phenomenal the way it looked. You know, I mean, it's totally believable.
It's intense. So what else are you working on now? What's coming up for you in the future?
I'm working on a kids animated movie called Animal Crackers, which will be really good fun.
I used to eat them as a child. I remember.
Yeah, well, it's being done in Spain, and it's $12.5 million budget, but it's got Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito, and Sarah McKellen. And it could be really good fun because we've got a year to come up with some covers and come up with some new songs.
That's the thing about animated films. They take a long time to get going.
And it's my first animated film, but it's going to be really good fun because I have two young girls to bounce all the ideas off. They'll tell me
How old are your kids?
Song, 6 and 8.
That's awesome.
But one other thing I'd like to say about Whiplash, really, the greatness of the jazz music in that film is down to Tim Simonek.
What's his name?
Tim Simonek. He's Michael Giacchino's and Graham Revell's orchestrator, conductor, arranger, and he wanted to score a film. And I realized that the level of music in this film had to be up to Charlie Parker, and I was worried about that, especially within the budget. And I said to Tim, I phoned him up and I said, you want to compose a film, can you write jazz? Do you like jazz? He goes, big band jazz? I said, big band jazz? He goes, if you've got me a project, then I'll do it. And he wrote 3 amazing songs. If they'd been featured more in the film, which they couldn't be because it was already written like that, he might have got a nomination for one of those songs because they're fantastic. And once he came on board, everybody knew that the music was going to be
shape.
Fantastic.
Well, congratulations, man. I'm rooting for you.
Thank you very much.
Andy Ross, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, I'm Andy Ross, nominee for Whiplash, and you're watching Grammy Pro.